Okay, great. So welcome to the full moon in Cancer. Today, we're going to do a little bit of an activation in this full moon in Cancer and really kind of dive in with the frequencies of this beautiful sign of Cancer that's so nourishing. Um, and I'll talk a little bit about the sign of Cancer and the astrology, just a little so you can kind of get into, and feel the vibes of the Cancer full moon. So Cancer is a water element, and it's really, um, there's three zodiac signs that are water, and Cancer is like kind of right in there with reminds me of the ocean, and it reminds me also of that maternal feeling, the maternal essence, the great mother, the feminine. And Cancer is all about nourishment. Cancer is all about the mother. Cancer is all about being nourished and our self-care, and our vulnerability. And so as Cancer, as the crab creates this hard shell, and sometimes part of the shadow of the Cancer energy is that we kind of, get crabby, right? Crabby, and we create these walls because we feel so deeply. Cancer is a very emotional sign. It's very watery. The water signs are usually have the great capacity of feeling. And so it's important with Cancer to give ourselves a time and space to have these times where we can feel, where we can express ourselves, express the water within us, which is our tears. I was doing a healing to someone yesterday that doesn't do that with herself much, that kind of keeps her emotions very, very guarded in many ways. And it was yesterday, and today's Monday, right? Yeah. And she was having literally like an explosion of emotions because it all finally, like, kind of like it was always blowing up. And she's like, I don't know what's happening. And it's like, yeah, it's the Cancer full moon energy. Because she was holding so much, and she tends to hold a lot. And it's like, it's a good thing. So she was like literally like not just tears, but then like, when you cry a lot and then all of the mucus is running, and like it was coming from every part of her, all this water. And that reminds, I was like, yeah, that happens on the Cancer full moon a lot. And it's one of those energies. So it's like we need to allow the waters to flow and to be in the flow. And our waters for us as humans is part of our emotional body. And the shadow side of that is the stagnation when we, shut down our emotions or judge our emotional body, which is a big part of the feminine, by the way. Um, in our culture, there's a lot of criticism and shame around our full expression of the more vulnerable emotions, right? Like sadness, grief, disappointment, fear, these vulnerable emotions. There's a lot of shame that we've learned. We've learned to shut down our emotions because of the shame or the judgments, etc. So, Cancer energy is an invitation for us to be with our hearts, be with our vulnerability, go into the soft aspects of our being, past the hard shells, past the shell that we put out there for everyone to see, to feel safe. Cancer is also about feeling secure, and so that's part of that whole hard shell and inner softness. So how can we be with our vulnerability and drop any of the shame, judgment, criticism, and then let our vulnerability show us what are we needing. What are we needing right now? And how can I open myself to receive that, either from myself, from the universe, and also establishing a connection with the universe as that maternal being, that maternal mother, the great mother, as it was revered in the past. And when the ancient women in the Neolithic time, before the patriarchal culture set in, the women and the men and all of society was really aware of, the divine being having a maternal, life-giving, sacred source and energy that we counted on, that we worked with, that we were aware of, that we felt held by. So it doesn't surprise me that we're actually starting this on a Cancer full moon. That's a synchronicity I did not plan, but it's kind of perfect because that's really one of the strongest archetypes of the feminine. So with that in mind, let's just take a few minutes and I'll guide you through a little bit of an embodied meditation. And yeah, and so I'm just going to get a different cushion than I did it before. Sorry about that. My back. It's much better for me. And yeah, so let yourself kind of sit comfortably wherever you are. And afterwards, after we do this process, we'll end the meditation, and I will then open up off screen for anybody if they want to share anything about their process, not the process in itself, but just anything that they want to share with the group. That sometimes when we share with each other in the group, it helps also to anchor that within ourselves, right? And it's like part of the integration piece. So we'll have a few minutes for that afterwards as well. So just take a deep breath wherever you are, and just allow yourself to kind of connect with your breath, and close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Letting yourself just feel and turn your gaze inward, like your awareness inward, being curious, like, okay, let's just see what's happening here within me, feeling your breath, feeling your body, feeling your sitting bones and whatever you're sitting on, allowing yourself to feel that you're actually sitting on something, and maybe your feet are on the floor, and letting yourself really lean into that, letting your body relax, knowing that these next few minutes is for yourself. Going on a little meditative journey to connect and to receive the blessings of this Cancer full moon. Yeah, and so just allowing yourself to notice the breath in your body. And just notice how you're breathing. Bringing your breath all the way into your lower womb, your sacral womb, your pelvic cavity, lower abdomen. Letting your breath slow down a little bit. Yeah, I'm just noticing. So a lot of things that I'll be saying, we want to kind of invite these parts of you to connect, and these parts of you to, it's like it's an invitation, right? It's not about having to do anything. It's not about right and wrong. It's an invitation to notice the breath. Notice the rhythm of your breath with no right or wrong, just becoming present. Taking a few minutes to call in your guides, and asking the Divine and the Great Mother to be here with us, calling on the spirit of the moon herself to be here with us as we receive frequencies of this beautiful Cancer full moon. And calling on your main helping spirit, whether you know who that is or not, just know that you do have a guiding spirit that's always been with you since birth and is here to support you, support your soul's journey, and make sure that you are in alignment with that journey. Course correcting along the way. Yeah, and just calling them in for support and acknowledging all the spiritual help that's here. And so back to your breath, and back to your breath in your womb. And if you want, it might be helpful to bring your hands right onto your lower abdomen. And taking some deep breaths in here. And letting yourself just drop in and relax even more. Yeah. So just allowing yourself to really drop into your sacral womb. And then when you feel comfortable, I want you to envision the full moon above you. And just envision the moon's rays, the silvery white light, just falling all over you, like almost like raindrops, or even more of a mist. Just having that silvery light come over you, and just feeling the light of the moon as she shines over you. And if you've ever been outside on a full moon, you can recall that experience in this moment, because it's something that your cells know. But whether you have or not, just to invite that experience in. Invite that. And letting your body be bathed in her light. And as you're experiencing this, bringing one hand, your right hand, to your heart and your left hand to your womb space. Just breathe into your hands, continue to breathe and continue to receive the silvery light around you, in you. It's like beginning to have this relationship with this full moon, particularly this full moon, which is in a particular part of the sky. And so it has a particular flavor to it that we call a Cancer moon. Yeah. And so just feeling those vibes. and opening your heart to receive whatever she's here to bring to you tonight. And continuing now to breathe into your heart space. And just taking a notice as to what you're feeling in your heart in this moment. And that could be either emotionally or with sensations, physical sensations, just noticing. Or noticing if you're have a lot of thoughts happening still, and that's okay. Continuing to breathe into your heart now. Allowing that kind of curiosity as you feel into your own heart. And then with each breath that you're taking, I want you to focus all of that light from the moon, starting to really funnel into your heart. Funnel into your heart. Like it's coming in now with each breath. That Cancer, full moon, the blessings and the frequencies and the gifts that are here that this moon is activating for you. Breathing into your heart. And then as you do that, it's like the moon starts to fill the heart. Fill the heart and like a balloon inside of you. And you're just receiving and receiving and receiving. And this ball, if you may, inside of you, this space, this round sphere, is growing and expanding and expanding and expanding. And you're just receiving the frequencies from the moon with each breath. But now you start to feel those frequencies within you, within your heart, and you start to see all that light expanding as it continues to activate. And that ball is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as it gets bigger, it starts to move all the way out from inside your body, moving out, going out into your outer body now. And as this process is happening, as this is expanding within you, it's helping any place of constriction, of pain, of sadness, of suffering, even of thoughts. It's actually just transmuting, helping to transform, transmute anything that might be there that's not helpful for you right now, anything that you're willing to surrender into this light, this brilliant light of the moon. It's like you're actually have the capacity to surrender anything you've been worrying about, any place in your life you feel stuck, any challenges, And even more importantly, any place that you feel unsupported, alone, disconnected, powerless. Letting this ball of light that's within you now expanding, transmute it all. The only trick is you need to be willing to surrender it for this moment, just this moment. That's all we're asking. And so now this big ball that's within you, but has expanded outside of you, continues to expand. And now it starts to feel like you, this ball and the full moon above you becoming one. Becoming one. And it's almost like now you are inside the moon, and the moon is all around you. The full moon is all around you. And you can lean into the full moon. And she's holding you completely. Like a womb, like a big cosmic womb. She's holding you. And she's supporting you. And she's caring for you. And she's transmitting to you all of those loving maternal feelings of the mother. Sharing with you how much she loves you. And how much you are loved, and how precious you are, and how precious your heart is and your soul is. And reminding you, activating those pathways within you that perhaps might have been a little dormant, might have forgotten. And so let yourself rest and receive and drink from all of the energies that she has to give you. You don't have to do anything, but just say yes and be in a yes. And even the places that are unsure or that might not feel safe, allow yourself to maybe drink just a little bit of this elixir of love. That's part of your birthright and part of the feminine mysteries that you might have forgotten. But your soul remembers. Communing with the moon and all of her faces is part of you supporting and caring for your soul. Activating deeper truths and deeper magic within you. And then as you do this, we're going to do one thing to activate. If you feel comfortable, I want you to sound a little bit. And sounding just means we do sounds. We do sounds. We use our voice. And we're going to sound the ah for the heart, the ah sound, as you continue to feel the moon like you're in the full moon. right? Like the moon is holding you in her big womb. And we're going to do the ah sound. Just going to move the microphone a little bit. And you can do the ah, whatever tone you like. And this helps to open the heart to receive even more, to transmute the denser energies, the blockages, the conditioning, the things and experiences and trauma that might get in the way of connecting with the deepest place of your being, your soul, and receiving. So the ah, whenever you feel comfortable, you can pause, or you can keep going, or you can be in just with the drum. And so I'll do a little bit with you. Do ma om, ma ma and om, ma om, ma noticing how your heart feels now. Still feeling all those beautiful frequencies around you of the moon. And drinking, being nourished all the way to your soul. Now let's be a few minutes just in silence. Feeling our heart space and just noticing. Sometimes we notice deeper emotions that want to come through. Sometimes we notice the light of the moon is so bright that it triggers things, and we want to give that space in the next few days, weeks, and this month. We really have the whole month in this energy. And sometimes we can feel the peace of our soul, and we can feel really nourished and loved, like the mother holding us, and we can feel that love, and everything else melts away. So there's no right or wrong experience, depending on where where you're at, what's moving through you, what you're needing, and what the opportunity is. You can be at different parts of the process. And so just welcoming wherever you are right now. Knowing that if you're not fully cooked, fully baked, you can return to this and continue to repeat this later on. And if you're in the flow of grace, then that's also something to be grateful for. Yeah, and so just taking a last breath here in gratitude, bowing in gratitude. We thank the Great Mother, we thank the Spirit of the Moon, we thank all of the allies and guides, ancient ancestral mothers that are here. We thank the earth for directions. Thank you. Many blessings.